Yo, what's up, YouTube? I'm reacting to another scary TikTok video. These are scary TikToks that you should not watch alone. Let's get into this video. Now, this one says creepy deep woods encounter.
So, as y'all may or may not have heard, the spirit of the nine-tailed fox has been set free. Nasu Seisho Seki, otherwise known as a killing stone located in Japan, contained the spirit of Tamama no Mei, a demoness. A demoness. Tamama no Mei was a beautiful woman, very charming, who was alive during the time of when Emperor Toba used to rule, from 1107 to 1123. Here, Tamama no Mei was trying to use her wit, her charm, her beauty, everything to try and kill Emperor Toba. Now, Tamama no Mei's spirit has been contained in that rock for almost 1,000 years, right? Here's Tamama no Mei's spirit all locked up real nice. But then on Monday, there were reported findings of this rock split open. That's kind of sus, right? 2 days before International Women's Day. I see you, girl. I feel you. Get your revenge. But the thing is that her intentions might not be all that good, okay? So keep in mind, we're in the middle of everything going on right now. Do we really need an 1,000-year-old demon coming back to get her revenge? Like, please, ma'am, not now. Not now, please. Peep this rock, guys. Like, you can literally see the colors of a fox within it, okay? The nine-tailed fox is not playing. Whenever a spirit is contained within an object or just sealed up somewhere, it is not to be messed with. It is a very serious thing. When you see that that thing is ripped apart, open up, cracked open, like, that means that the spirit is free now. And although yes, there might be other factors as to how this happened, I'ma say no. When spirits are determined to get something, they're going to get that thing. Thus how sis got out. Let's just all keep our spiritual guards up just a little bit more. I see you, Tamama no Mei, but we don't need this right now. I feel you though.
A Twitter user by the name Grady Hendricks shared a terrifying experience that happened to him when he was 9 years old. Grady said that growing up, he would sneak back down into the kitchen to eat leftovers at night when everybody else was sleeping. But one night when he did this, he heard a fork click on the counter. He then saw the outline of a man in the light from the microwave clock. Grady slowly backed away and ran upstairs to tell his parents. His parents went and did some investigating but weren't able to find anything, and they brushed it off as an overactive imagination. Grady was so convinced of what he saw that he started keeping a steak knife under his pillow, and a few months later he saw something in the air conditioning vent above his bed that proved he was right all along. While he was reading in his bed, he looked up at the vent and saw a pair of eyes staring at him. Again, Grady's parents went through the house searching the attic and the crawl spaces but weren't able to find anything. A couple weeks later, the family notices a rancid smell throughout the house, and Grady finds maggots in his bed. It turned out that the man Grady saw in the kitchen that day crawled into their AC vents and ended up passing away, and the man was buried as a John Doe.
Survival tips you're probably never gonna need, but if you do, it just might save your life. In the land of around and find outs, the animal you should probably fear the most is the box jellyfish. It's the most venomous animal in the entire world. You can brush up against one of their tentacles and then be a Facebook post 2 minutes later. Box jellies are built to speedrun a homicide. That way their prey doesn't have time to struggle and possibly snap one of their tentacles. If you touch one, millions of stinging cells shoot microscopic harpoons through your skin. Harpoons that release a neurotoxin that can flatline you by stopping your heart. And the Irukandji is the worst of them all, since not only are they impossible to see until it's too late, apparently they actively hunt prey. Symptoms of getting stung can include crippling anxiety, an overwhelming feeling of impending doom, and the urge to Hannah Baker yourself, to the point where victims have allegedly begged their doctors to put them out of their misery permanently. But there might be a way to avoid all this. Wearing pantyhose while swimming in unprotected waters can save you, since it's lightweight while also being thick enough to keep harpoons from penetrating your skin. And if you do get stung, using a blow dryer on the highest setting can help dry out their remaining stingers without accidentally activating them. But to avoid getting stung in the first place, swallow your pride and get you some pantyhose, assuming you don't have them already.
Scary pictures that will keep you up at night, part 3. This is what one parent saw on the baby monitor when he heard heavy breathing coming from his baby's room. After seeing this on the baby monitor, the parent ran to the baby's room only to find the baby fast asleep. Ever since this, the parent made the baby sleep in his bedroom. A young boy took a picture of his grandma in 1997, but in the background you can see his grandpa also. The scary part about this photo is that his grandpa died in 1984. This picture was taken on Google Street View, and it shows a young girl being kidnapped and about to be tossed in a trunk. This photo is super chilling, especially because nobody knows anything about this or the 2 men involved.
This man said that he went to hell. You're not gonna believe this. This man's name is Jordan, and it seemed like Jordan had everything in life. He had women, drugs, alcohol, everything he thought he wanted. Until one day he overdosed on drugs, and his heart quit beating. At that moment, his spirit left his body, and he started to descend down and down and down. And the scene shifted, and he kept on descending and going to this place called hell. And you won't believe what he saw in hell. Follow for part 2. This man died and went to hell. Part 2. Jordan was living in sin, and one day he overdosed on drugs. His spirit literally left his body, and he started to descend down to hell. He was saying how everything in this life that seemed pleasurable was gone. He didn't have his nice cars anymore. All the drugs were gone. All of his alcohol was gone. And he said that everything was red and black. As he kept on descending down to hell, he said that he heard screams and screams yelling something. And you will not believe what they were saying. You're gonna want to follow for part 3. This man said that he went to hell, and you won't believe what he saw. Part 3. Jordan overdosed on drugs, and his heart quit beating. At that moment, he started to descend down into hell. He said that as he started to descend to this terrible place, he realized that nothing in his life mattered. All of the fancy cars he drove were gone. All of his drugs were gone. All of the girls that he dated were gone. The only color he saw was red and black. He said that right behind him he could hear screams, and they were yelling, "Get out of here! Get out! Turn back!" He said that he tried to escape this place, but no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't get out. And it gets even crazier than this. Follow for part 4. This man said that he went to hell. Part 4. Jordan overdosed on drugs and he descended down into hell. As he descended to this terrible place, he heard screams that were saying, "Get out of here, get out, turn back." He said that he tried to get out of this place, but no matter how hard he tried, there was no escaping this place. But suddenly, he felt himself go back into his body, and he felt his heart boom 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 start beating again. This happened several times, but eventually his heart started beating and it kept on beating. He immediately repented to God and gave his life to Christ, and he makes it his mission to tell people about this terrible place. If you're like Jordan and you don't want to go to hell, then go press the link in my bio and follow this account to see more videos about hell.
Gotta give your life to Christ. This is it for this video. Thank y'all for watching with me today. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all.